Jimmy! Per caso ha visto passare un cane?
Sarà dall'altra parte.
Nella zona occupata. Guai se lo fai un'altra volta.
Signore, dove sta andando? Trasportare animali dai territori occupati è proibito dalla legge.
Ma dove lo lascio? È in mezzo a una strada.
Io sono Giacomo, lui è Mattia, siamo di Radio Statale, del programma Fotogrammi, che è l'unico programma di cinema della radio universitaria della Statale di Milano. Sono molto contento di essere qui con voi oggi. Il film Torna a casa Jim mi è piaciuto moltissimo. So congratulations for the movie. It's very, very funny, amazing, but also very, very smart. My first question is for both, and I want to ask you if this movie is more, I would say, is more a provocation, or is more a movie just to spend 2 nice hours with a fun humor?
I don't think it's to provoke. I don't think that was it wasn't the main purpose of the film. Also, when I started writing the film, the main objective was to show the Cyprus problem as it is now and as I see it, but I tried to see it from a bird's eye view, just to show both sides without taking any sides. From what I get, also it's a balanced film without trying to provoke. That's not the point. I think it's just to tell a good story and to entertain, but at the same time for the viewers to understand about the Cyprus problem, how Cyprus is today, and to show the absurdity of this problem that has been going on for way too long. Has to change.
Do you agree?
Yes, of course. I have nothing to say more. I mean, Mario said everything.
No, I found this movie. It's an unusual. It's not a simple comedy. It's something more, because at the same time you can reflect about the Cyprus situation. And this is my second. Do you agree that is something more a comedy, and in our contemporary, so in which there's also a feeling that is more for build border wall. It's very also ironic we say the signal in front of his house, your character house, that there's written no border, and instead we see this movie in this island that is full of border.
Yeah.
So what could be the role of the cinema in these days, and especially what could be the role of the comedy, because it's unusual. For me, it was a nice bet, this movie, and it was won this betting, because it come out a very exciting, funny, smart, interesting movie. So the comedy could be a right genre to tell this kind of stories.
I think comedy is very important, because I think when you can make people laugh, you can also make them listen. You can take their attention more. And through comedy and satire, you can push the boundaries a little bit. You can push the absurdity. You can push you're more free to do some things to make a point. Like the no border shop, it's an actual shop that exists, and it's this absurdity of the whole situation. Yes, it's true. It's the Nicosia and Cyprus is divided in half. But I think comedy is underappreciated most of the times, especially you see in festivals that it's more drama films, and I think people need to laugh some more and be more critical about themselves and see themselves and laugh about it and see it from a different perspective.
your point of view, because for example, I know that you are very dear friend with Katia Kine, and for example, he's a very good director. And for example, if I think his last movie, House
Aus dem Nichts.
Yes, because in Italian is Oltre la notte, that movie, yes. It's used a drama genre. Here instead could be also cruel, this reality, because there's also a feeling of, it's very nice, the concept that where we born, so it's not our fault, instead your character is completely involved. So the comedy, to represent this reality, what could be his potential?
No, but I think life is so different. I mean, you have drama in your life, and you have comedy aspects in your life. I mean, you can't say life is only this or that. I mean, it's from everything. I mean, yes, for a comedy, we try to put not only a comedy. It's not only comedy. Smuggling Hendrix is not only. It's a drama too, but you must look for it. You must find it somewhere, and that's the that's the reason you can.
Yeah, it's the situation are serious situations, and there's a lot of drama, and there's a lot of still a lot of pain and a lot of but at the same time it's this absurd situation, absurd even if you approach it in a way that it's more dramatic, still it's funny because it shouldn't be this way. It shouldn't. It's absurdity that comes out from the situation.
It's also very nice. I want to ask you how you approach to act your character, because your character is living in a world that is controlled by, I would say, two opposite forces. So there's Cipro and Turkey, but there are also he meets in the Turkish area, Yiannis, I don't remember the name, the Turkish men, and they will be helped by Kika, that she crossed the border every time, but there's also another helper that is, how do you say, a criminal.
It's a small-time crew.
So it's So there are always the movie is managed by opposite forces.
Yes.
So in which way you feel more comfortable to prepare and act in your character?
I mean, yes, as an actor or as the hero of the movie, you need help. You can't make it for your own. I mean, you have problems. My character has a lot of problems. In the beginning with himself, and everybody helped him somehow to find his way, to find a solution for his problems. And it's not important where you come from, or if you are Turkish settler or a Turkish Cypriot. The most important is that you need help to find something, a solution for yourself. And the movie showed in a good way how you can find this way. And I think that's
Che cosa vuoi tu da noi?
Vorrei solo una mano con il mio cane, un modo per portarlo via.
Lui fa sempre questo. Prende cose, porta cose.
Io passerò la frontiera, si prende il cane e si riporta indietro. Non sarebbe la prima né l'ultima volta.
Okay, thank you for being here. I have a question for you, Adam. So you're German. You're from Greek descent, but you lived in Germany for most of your life. And one thing that struck me about it is that Germany is this cosmopolitan nation, very European, where two very different diasporas, which is the Turkish one and the Greek one, cohabitate. And in both nations, both in Cyprus and in Germany, these two different cultures clash, but in two different ways. So I was wondering, what was it like for you to shoot a film that's so personal to you? What was your relation to it and to the ongoing politics in Cyprus?
Yes, first of all, I grown up in Germany with a lot of people from outside. I mean, they come from the greatest part was from Turkey, and growing up together, my best friends are Turkish, for example. And in the beginning, we have always, because our history, our Greek history, is connected with the Turkish-Greek problems, and yes, and I mean in the Greek school, I've been in the Greek school in Germany, and if we heard the stories about that, you get very sad and very angry about that. But on the other side, my best friends was Turkish, and don't match in the beginning. But the most important is that you must learn from each other, and to find that, and in the end, you are the same. You are human. You are the same. You have the same backgrounds. You have the same cultures somehow, and there's more things that are the same but different.
Yeah, that's also. Oh, yeah.
No, I was going to say that was important that, because we learned the same history and the same, stories and the conflicts between the Greeks and the Turks, but we didn't have the chance to have a Turkish friend.
Yes.
Because it was, the communities for more than 30 years, we didn't have any interaction.
Yeah.
So there was no interaction between the Turkish Cypriots and Greek Cypriots. So you just learn and hear about the conflicts and all these, the wars and the history, but you never you never get to know the other people, the other person. Well, you had the chance
Yes.
Yeah,
to
exactly.
have
That's what I found
friends.
actually interesting. That
Yeah,
you had the
and
chance to.
I didn't. I had to be, 30 years old to meet the Turk when I was studying.
I mean, we're also talking about the same continent. It's not really that far one from another, but
Yeah.
it's two different completely realities.
Yeah.
I think that the film shows that very well.
Ma che cos'ha tanto speciale questo tuo cane?
Non è soltanto un cane, lui è Jimmy.
I have another question for both of you. The kind of main character, other than yours, is Jimmy. His name is inspired from Jimi Hendrix, which is also a great passion of your character. Is it maybe also a kind of a symbolism to recall Jimi Hendrix because he was a hippie figure and he connected very different cultures? Also the fact we actually read that the actual dog that portrayed Jimmy comes from Holland.
Yeah.
It was kind of like interesting to think that a so European dog comes in Cyprus, and also kind of maybe metaphorically resolves the question that the ongoing dispute that goes between these two populations. Because I also found very funny the scene where, after all, the things that Adam's character goes through to get him back, he just basically goes through the checkpoints without nobody asking anything to him. So is it maybe an inspiration to Hendrix and his legacy as a pacifist?
I mean, the name of the title of the film, and it comes from
From his passion.
Yiannis' character passion
Yeah.
to be a musician, and he plays the guitar and he sings, and he named his dog after his idol, which of course he represents something more. And on the film we had, the crew and the actors, they were from Cyprus, of Greece, Turkey, Germany. We had the trainers coming from Holland, so it was a multinational production. And of course, the animals, they have their own. They don't know The dog doesn't know the problems.
Yeah, they're completely
that
oblivious
that he
to
created.
human
Yeah.
human conflicts.
But doesn't care about borders, doesn't care about conflicts, doesn't care if you're a territory. They just mind his own business.
Okay. One last question for you. The title of the film in Italian is Smuggling Hendrix. The subtitle is 10 Things You Shouldn't Do When You Lose Your Dog in Cyprus. So we didn't want to ask you 10 things we shouldn't do. We wanted to ask you 3 things you should do when you're in Cyprus. If you had to give an advice to anybody who want to visit Cyprus, because it looks beautiful.
Yeah.
The film portrays it in a beautiful way. I mean, I wanted to go there
Yeah.
while I was watching it. So
I think it's okay. There's a lot of nature in Cyprus. There's a lot of there are small, nice bays in the summer that you can go. Also, the mountains are very nice. The distances they're very short. You can go from the beach to the mountains in 45 minutes. The food is good.
The food is very good. Really, right.
The old city of Nicosia is it's very nice. The architecture, the people. Have Venetian walls. You shouldn't take your. If you come with a dog, you cannot take your dog to the.
you can go to the checkpoints with the dog.
There's a lot of history, a lot of culture, and it's a lot of mix of cultures also. Part of this of Cyprus, it's Greek and Turkish, and Tunisian.
Yeah, because
there were a lot of conquerors passing
Cyprus
through
is
Cyprus.
A strategic island.
Yes, because of the location. So
geographically
there is a lot
speaking,
of Middle Eastern also influences.
It's kind of unique in its own way, being in Europe, but also having
a lot of
so many influences.
Yes.
Yeah. Thank you very much, both of you.
Thank you.
Puoi portare né animali né vegetali dalla zona turca a quella greca.
E se uno ha in mano panino turco? Puoi traversare confine se mangi turkey sandwich?